I'm pretty excited. I got my gaming chair today, so I'm going to get this thing taken apart and put it together ASAP. And we have got lots of parts. Lots of parts. And once you unwrap everything, you're going to find that you even have more parts. And the instruction manual, which is right there, that is hidden in the back of the chair seat. So that's where you will find the instructions. And if you are doing this, you guys, you want to make sure, if you're using a knife, be very, very careful. You do not want to puncture anything. So be very careful and very slow, because they do wrap things up rather well with all of this material right here. The first thing you want to do when you get your gaming chair and you get it all apart is to, of course, open up your user manual and verify that you have all the parts, your wheels, your base, everything. And it's all right there. So you should be able to just go by and check each thing off. And the instructions are right there, and I'm going to show you how to put it together right now. Okay, step one is we're going to put the wheels on. And this is really easy. There's not much to it. You just take the wheel and you push it down in there, and it should self-attach. Very simple procedure. No tools required. And I apologize for the bird you hear in the background. That's our bird. And that's part of step one. Then we go on to the next step, which is to put this on. And that's very simple to do. Just push that down in there like that. Nothing to it. Okay, we're still on step one now. After putting the wheels on, we're going to move on to putting on the, I guess they call them the covers. Okay, there's three covers. One large one that's tapered at the top, wider at the bottom. Then you got your next size and your smallest size. Now the easiest way to do this, so that you don't get all confused about how to do it, make sure the wide side's on the bottom. Get your next size up from that, not your smallest one, but the next size up. It's tapered at the top. This is tapered at the top. So just drop it in there like that. So see, it's not going to come out. Then you do the same thing with this one. This has got the small hole at the very top. And so you drop the small hole in first into your larger one on the bottom, just like that. And they're all going to stay together, just like that. That's the simplest way to do it. And then just put it right over top of here. This bar is all the way down, so you're going to drop this one down and push it down as far as it goes. And you're done. That is step one, and you are finished with that. We're going on to the next step, step number two. Okay, we're on to step two, and you're going to need these parts, so you'll have to take these out now. And you're going to need the Allen wrench and the screws on the top, or the bolts. Okay, we're on to step two, and you're going to want to pay really close attention to this, because we're putting on the arm rests, and you'll notice that they're labeled R for right, and then your other one over here, L for left. And this happens to be the bottom of the chair. These two bolt holes right here is actually the back of the chair that we're looking at. So the back rest will be on this side. So this is the front of the chair towards the top. So being that this is the front of the chair, it says front right there. The right is going to go on this side, and the left will be going on that side. So make sure you do that correctly. And we're using the bolts from the kit, of course. These are the M8 22 millimeter there's 20 of them. We're going to be using 4 in each of the armrests. And of course, we'll be using the Allen wrench. Very simple to do. I won't show you all of this, but at least we'll get a start here. And as you can see, there are slots in here for the armrest too, so it is slightly adjustable. If you're maybe a bigger person or a smaller person, you can move the armrests in or out accordingly, because they give you a little bit of wiggle room to do that because of the slots. Maybe you want to put it right in the middle. Maybe you want to have it all the way out, just so that everybody can use the chair, you know, and stuff. It's just totally up to you what you want to do. I think I'm going to put mine all the way out. I just feel that that's probably the best way to go, but you can always get back underneath your chair and readjust it if that isn't going to work for you. So this is just a matter of tightening these up, and then you're done. And then you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side here. The exact same thing. Just put that one on and you're good to go. That will cover step 2 of the instructions. And we're moving on to step 3. Okay, we're on to step 3, and as you can see, we're still on the bottom part of the chair. Still left it the same. Got the right and the left armrest on. We're going to be using the same bolts that we used to put the armrest on. Those are A, letter A on your hardware list if you're looking at your instruction manual. And that's what you're going to be using, 4 of those. And we're going to be putting this on. We're going to make sure that this lever is on the right side when we put this on. And we're going to line it up with these holes here. And I'll get a couple of them started for you. I won't take up all of the time here on the video. It's simple, just like it was with the armrest. You just start one here. Don't snug it down all the way. And then go for the opposite corner over here. Do that one. Then do the next one over here. And the final one down at the bottom. And snug them all up. Get them nice and tight. And then that completes step 3 of the installation. Okay, we're on to step 4, and we're going to put the base into this hole. If you look at your manual, they actually have the base down, and they want you to flip this over and put it on from the top. I mean, you can try doing it this way and putting it in there. It should work fine, which is what I'm going to do to start it. I'm just going to push it in there like that, and then I'm going to flip the chair over like this, and should be, once you put weight on it, you should be good to go, and it'll be sitting in there just fine. So that was an easy step. Step number 4. On to step 5. Okay, we're on step 5. We've got our chair here, the front of the chair, and we're going to use actually 4 of our letter A in the hardware kit. Those are the M8 screws or bolts. They call them screws. So we're going to use 4 of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to put on the left and right hardware, and that is number 9 if you look at your parts list. And it's actually these pieces right here is what we're going to be putting on. This is the right one, although it's not marked. It's got the handle. We're going to put it on this side of the chair. Okay, and then we have the other one to do on the left side of the chair. We'll do this one first. Really easy. You have your 2 holes right here. You're going to take these holes here. You're going to line it up there. So you want to start it by hand. Make sure it's going in there nicely, and then get your Allen wrench tighten it up a little bit more. Not snug though yet, because we have another one to put in over here on this side. It's kind of hard to line up when you can't see behind it, so you just kind of have to take your time. They give you a little wiggle room here. I think we got it now. I think I got it now. Yep, there it is. I just need a little bit more. There we go. And don't force this in. If it doesn't go easy, then you're going in, what I want to say, cockeyed. So make sure it goes in nice and easy. Once it does, tighten it up a little bit and go for the other side. Tighten it up. And we got that one done. And we're going to flip the chair over to this side. And we got the same thing. And you want to look at your manual there. So, because we're moving on now to step 6, okay? So you're going to want to look at your manual to see how this one goes, so that you don't put it on incorrectly. Okay, so make sure you refer to the manual if you can't quite figure it out. And in this case, looking at the manual, it doesn't look the same, because you see how this is folded in? I'm looking at the manual here, and if you look at step 6, it doesn't look like that. So do that, and all of a sudden, it's starting to look more like what's in the manual now. So don't let that confuse you, okay? So it's going to go this way, all right? That's the way you're going to put it in. So again, we're going to, hopefully won't have a hard time with these holes this time. I'm going to start with the back one this time, since that one was harder on the other side. I'm just going to start with that one. And that went right in. Now I can have a little bit more wiggle room with this front one, because it's got a larger slot, and it won't take me as long. You learn by putting things together. Again, you want to do it by hand first here. You don't want to strip anything. So make sure it's screwing in nicely by hand first, and then finish up with your Allen wrench. And make it nice and snug. Don't over tighten, but snug it up pretty good. You don't want it coming loose, falling out of your chair. So that completes step 6. We're moving on to step 7 now. Okay, we are on step 7, and we're going to be using parts number 10. This is the left and the right cover. We're looking at the right side of the chair, the one with the lever on it, and this is the thicker piece, which if you can see inside here, it might be kind of hard to see on the camera, but it is stamped on here R. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera or not there, but there is an R in there. There you can kind of catch that. That stands for the right side of the chair. And you're going to need some different screws this time, some different bolts, if you will. We're going to be pulling from item B. These are the 4 screws. These are known as the M5 8mm screws. They're little tiny things like this. And we're going to drop that screw right into there. Just let it fall right in there so it goes all the way in. We're going to line this hole with this. And there's a hole down here that you can't see probably from the camera, and it'd be very hard for me to tip the chair for you to see it. But there's a hole down here that this screw is going to go into, and it's going to be fairly easy because we're going to line this hole up with the center of this. So let's give it a try and see if we can make this work, and then we'll get on to the other side. So we're going to make sure this is underneath the handle, and you're going to line this up, and well, now the screw fell out. Don't do that. Put the screw back in. We're going to line this. I'm going to put my thumb over there so the screw don't fall out. And we're going to line this up so that it just fits right over the center of that. And you can kind of feel it won't be able to move once you get it fit over there. It's kind of, it's not snug, but it just won't be able to move. So our screw should be lined up. Now in this case, I can't hand tighten with my fingers. So you're going to have to use your Allen wrench and go just a little bit just to see, and try turning it a little bit and then see if you got it. And it looks like we did. It's not coming off. So put your Allen wrench back on there. And again, don't force this screw. If it doesn't go really easy, don't force it. It should go really easy. The thread should go really easy. And you're just going to want to go nice and slow and get that nice and snug. Don't over tighten it because it is plastic, okay? So don't over tighten it. You don't want to break the plastic. If you think you over tightened it a little bit, heck, just loosen it up a little bit. You can always tighten it up later if it comes loose. You know, you don't want to over tighten this because you are dealing with plastic now. Now this is the other side. You can see that just plastic. If you don't over tighten that, you could blow that piece of plastic right through. So be careful on these pieces. Don't over tighten them, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab another one of these letter B screws, the M5 8mm screw. We're going to have that. We're going to flip the chair around here, and we're going to do the same thing. You see the hole is down here on this side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to line this hole up here with the center of that. So let's give it a try and see what happens here. Let's get this moved so you can maybe see it a little bit better. And let's see how this goes. So it's going to go on in this direction. Again, we're going to drop that in there so it falls all the way through, so it's kind of protruding out. We're going to just kind of line that up right there. And it does kind of fall into place, believe it or not. We're going to take our wrench and go nice and slow. Again, hoping that it is going inside there, and it should be. And you can go a few turns and then just test it, see if you have it. And we do. So go back to it. Again, remember, this is plastic. Don't over tighten, just snug it up. Okay, not over tighten, don't put all your muscle into it. Just snug it up. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right there and just try it one more time here just to see. Maybe I want to loosen it a little bit. No, tighten a little bit more. Okay, that's good. And that completes step number 7. We're moving on to step number 8 now. Okay, we are on step number 8, and we're going to put our number 7 backrest on now. And we're going to use our last remaining screws, our M8 screws. We have 4 of those, so we're going to be using those to put the back on. So first thing you want to make sure you do, so you don't make a mistake, is to make sure you have your USB cord and make sure that's in the back. So it's coming out of the back. Don't have it coming out of the front. So make sure when you put this chair down, you're looking at the right side, of course, of the chair. When you put the back down, I should say, make sure that your USB cord is coming out of the back. Now, don't be afraid. You can bend these out a little bit. I ain't saying bend like bend them, but pull them out a little bit. When you're putting this back on, you want to line it up. You don't want it to, of course, rip the material. So you want to make sure that you kind of just pull it out just a little bit, and you can see how the chair back will just move right into place. And if we turn it around here, you can see here we have to do the same thing over on this side. And this one actually, remember, this one moves here. So we'll do this side first. Since we're on this side, we might as well go ahead and just do that side first. Why not, right? So My suggestion when you're doing this is to do the bolt. And again, I apologize for my bird. I would, since I'm talking, he thinks he has to talk. So I would do the top one. The bottom one gives you a little bit more of a slot there so you can maneuver it around a little bit. So I would start with the top one and get it started. Again, you want to do it by hand to make sure it's going in nice and easy for you. Don't tighten it all the way up. Then go ahead and line the bottom one up. You can see how I'm moving the chair back a little bit. And that's lined up now. And then you can start that one. And again, don't tighten it up. Just kind of leave it loose. And then flip the chair around. Be careful. And you can notice this one's way off. So we got to get this one lined up here. And you might have to lift up on it like I'm doing a little bit. Grab another one of your M8 bolts. And I'm lifting up on the backrest a little bit so the hole lines up. And again, if it doesn't start easy, just pull it back out and restart it. So we can see that we got that now started, and we got the last bolt left. Hurrah! And we're going to push the back in a little bit from the back here so we can get the bottom hole lined up, which it is now. And it's nice they provide you a slot there so you have a little bit of variance so you can get this job done. So the engineers were thinking, at least when they made this. Again, if it doesn't go easy, make sure that maybe you're not lined up right or you didn't start it right in the hole. You don't want to strip the threads. God forbid, you don't want to do that after you've gotten this far with the chair. And you can see I'm having a little bit of a difficult time with this one, but don't get anxious, don't get worried. Just take your time. Sorry it's taking longer here on the video for you guys, but I don't want to use the wrench and strip it and go against my own instructions, right? So I want to make sure that I can get this by hand first. And it's just going a bit too hard. I don't like the way it's going, so I'm going to try to line this up a little bit better. And there we go. It just wasn't lined up. So once you get it started, then you can go ahead and use your wrench. And I would snug these up, but not tight yet. Get them snugged up just a little bit further. And then go over to your other side, because these are way out, right? We didn't even snug these up, and snug these up a little bit. Make sure that they're going to go in okay for you. And they're going in nice and easy. And then just go ahead and tighten them up. And on these you can, I don't want you to over tighten them, but you don't want your back falling off on you, right? So make sure you got them nice and snug. Don't over tighten them, but just snug them up there really good. And then go back over on the other side. Do the same thing. And I would use the Allen wrench that they give you too. Don't use power tools because you might over tighten something. This is relatively small, so you can't get too much torque out of it. So unless you're a super tough, huge, big guy with lots of muscles, or maybe you're a gal that's doing this too. It's simple enough. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. The back is a little difficult. It's not really a heavy chair. Once it's all together, yes, it's heavy, but each individual piece isn't too heavy. So that completes that step. We're almost done with our chair, you guys. We are on step 9. Okay, we are on step 9, and we're going to be using parts number 11, and then our final 2 little screws or bolts, whatever you want to call them. And those are those M5 screws, the real little tiny ones. And again, if you do want to look at this, you're going to find out it ain't going to go on if you don't have the right one. But if you do want to look, you can see the R in that one. And these are different. These are both different. And then, of course, the L. If you can see the L in there. Might be kind of hard to see on that one. But trust me, it's in there. You can see it, the L in that one. So we're on the right side of the chair right now. And I'll show you here. If we try to do the left, it won't work. So you're going to see that both of these have a knob on the bottom. Both of them have a knob on the bottom. And I'm just going to put the wrong one on just to show you you can't go wrong on this. So what this does is goes inside the hole here. And I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit so you might not be able to see the hole, but the hole is right down here. Okay, it might not show up because we don't have a whole lot of light right there, but there's that big hole in this plastic piece. That's where this knob is going to go, okay? And then right here is the little screw hole where it's going to go through here and go into there. But I'm using the wrong piece. Now look at this, folks. It won't work. You can put the thing in there, but the way this is made, it's not going to work. So you know that's the wrong piece. So grab the right piece, the way it's constructed. Grab the right piece. Again, take your little screw, drop it down in the hole, maybe put your finger over it so it doesn't fall out. Use your left hand, or if you're right-handed, whatever, left-handed. And then take this little knob and you're going to push it right inside there. That's where that's going to go. And it's probably going to push a little hard. You're going to snap it in. You heard it snap. And then this is going to be the hardest part, is finding the screw hole. It should pretty well line up. And again, you can't do this one by hand. So you're going to have to trust your wrench. And you're going to have to do like you did on the other part. And just go really easy. And don't force anything. If it goes really hard, then maybe move the plastic piece a little bit, left or right. I'm not even sure if I'm getting it yet. I'm going to try. Nope, it's not started yet. Now this might be a little difficult. It'll just take some time. But be patient. There, I think it's there now. I think I have it. Yes, we got it. So again, this is dealing with plastic. So I would not over tighten it. Snug it up, yes, but don't over tighten it, okay? All right, now we're gonna flip the chair around. And we got to do the same thing over on this side. And you got one remaining screw left. So you can't go wrong. You got one screw left. I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other one. Just drop it in there. Or maybe you want to hold your wrench on there like that. Or maybe you don't. Then you got this knob here that you have to put into this hole here. I don't know, again, if you can see that hole, but my finger is pointing right at it. It's a plastic hole in the other piece of plastic. And I'm going to put my Allen wrench down. And you're going to push it in. And again, this screw hole is right up here where the screw is going to go, of course. Just like on the other one. And this one is a little bit different because you have to... I forgot to tell you this. You have to take this plastic and pull it out a bit to go over this bar, okay? So you're going to have to kind of maneuver that. Tell you what, I'm going to take the screw out because I forgot about that part. You're going to want to push the plastic over that metal first, okay? Like that. And then slide it up and down to where you need it so you can pop it into the hole down here, okay? And then you're going to see it kind of pops out like that. Then you're going to get your screw, and I'm going to put it on my Allen wrench. I'm just going to put it on the end of my Allen wrench, like I did the other one. and make sure it's all the way in there, and hold the plastic down, and hopefully we'll get this one right off the bat. And we did. And again, plastic, don't tighten it too much, just snug it up a bit. And that completes step number 9. We are now on to step number 10, and we almost have a completed chair. I mean, this is almost done. Okay, on to step 10. You want to get your parts there. You don't have any left except for the caps. So that's what we're doing next. We're going to take the 4 caps out of here, and we're going to install those so we can make your chair look pretty. We want your chair to be pretty and not have any holes in it, right? And you can see what I'm talking about. I know you guys know where these go. And we're looking at the right side of the chair. So you're going to grab 2 of your caps that you took out, and here's your hole, and here's your hole, and you're going to put those caps in there. Now, of course, before you do that, make sure that you're happy with, and you should be happy, but make sure, put your screw in there. If you want to do it again, make sure that you're tight and you're snug and where you want to be. Because once you put these in there, you're going to probably have to pry them out somehow, and it might not want to come out real easy. So make sure you're happy with where it's at, and then go ahead and put your caps on, just like that. Super simple. And then there's another one down here. Same thing. Make sure you're happy with how tight the screw is, you know, and stuff. And you should be already. But go ahead and put your cap. And these might fall out. You might have to end up gluing these in. You know, if you notice that they're falling out, because it did slide in there very easily. So you might want to put a little dab of, you don't have to use a lot of glue, but maybe like some rubber cement, something like that. Just to hold them kind of snug in there. I wouldn't put super glue on them. You'll never get them out. Or if you do, you might break them. So, because they do just kind of, they don't really snap in. They just kind of fall in there. So, I'm not sure if they're, you know, maybe they'll fall out if you get moving the chair around or something. You know, they might end up falling out. I don't know. For now, I'm just not going to put any glue on them and see how it works. You know, see how it goes. Be happy with it, I guess, until I see one fall on the floor and it's like, oh, I know where that goes. So, again, they just kind of push in there a little bit. They lay nice and flat and everything, but yeah, they don't go in really hard at all. They just kind of fall into place, if you will. Now this one I didn't really have tight enough down here at the bottom, so of course I was kind of in a hurry to show you guys how to put it all together and everything. So yeah, just make sure you're happy with it and then go ahead and put that in. So that completes that step of number 10. We have a few more things to do yet on our chair, and I'm showing you next. Okay, we're continuing on step 10, and this really isn't rocket science at all. You don't have to put this on, but if you want to put the pad on, you can. And one thing I noticed, there's a zipper. There's actually a zipper on the back here, but they don't give you the little zipper handle, so you just have to use your finger. I suppose they did that maybe on purpose. I'm not sure, so it wouldn't stick out. I don't know, but mine doesn't have the zipper handle on like, you know, most zippers have. But anyway, not a biggie. I just thought I'd point that out to you guys in case you guys have one of these chairs or get one of these chairs and are wondering, hey, shouldn't that have a zipper on it or something? Because it doesn't. But yeah, mine doesn't have a zipper on it either. So there you go. Anyway, you don't have to put this on if you don't want to. But if you want to, it's very simple. It's just an elastic strap. And you just put it right over the back like this. Of course, it's going to cover up your nice logo there. But again, it's up to you. It can always come off. You just put that right up there. And there you go. And then you got one final thing to do, and that's to put on the lumbar support. And again, you can find these parts in your part list if you're wondering what I'm talking about. We just put on number 12, and now we're going to put on number 13. And again, this isn't rocket science or anything, but guys, this is just a pad that's got straps, and they're attached with these clips. So you're going to want to take the clip and just pinch it, of course, unclip it, and then you got your pad here, and then it's relatively simple. You're going to have to slide it underneath your seat and then up and over top of the chair. It's not hard to do. I will show you. You're going to take the bottom strap right here that's on your pad. If you can see that, the bottom strap on the pad. You're going to put your pad down here. You're going to take the bottom strap and just push it through the bottom of your chair, and then do the same thing on the other bottom strap over here. You have it loose. You just push it right through the bottom of your chair and pull it out. Make it snug. Lift that up. Go over the top. And I'm going to flip the chair around so you can see this, you guys. And flip the chair around here. And maybe adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So there's your strap coming out of there. Right here. Then you're going to go down and grab the bottom strap. And you just push them together. And you've got one strap done. Do the same thing over here on this one. You're going to grab the strap, if you haven't already done so, which I haven't, and put it through here. Clip it. You're done. And there you go. There's your completed chair. I will show you guys. It's an awesome looking chair. And of course it's got USB, it's got lights. We haven't plugged the lights in yet to demonstrate that. I will here in just a moment. But there's your chair. All complete. And it's got a lot of features on it. It really does. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this chair. Guys, isn't this cool? The chair responds to sound. Look at the light. And of course, this is the reason we got it, right? So we could play around with the remote. Yeah, you get a remote with it. They gave you some little instructions here as well, that you can do things with the chair. But yes, look at that. That is so cool. It responds to sound. Isn't that neat? I think that is the neatest part of the chair. I love that feature in the chair. That's just awesome. I love it. I love it, guys. And the chair has got a lot of neat features too. I mean, if I zoom in here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to zoom in anyway. You'll experience this when you get the chair, but might as well show you. These handles swivel. So they swivel out. And here's your little pouch. There's a nice leather pouch here. You can put your remote in there. Store your remote so you never lose it. It's right there. But yeah, these armrests, they move out in different directions. And of course, it also reclines. That's what the handle is for on the side. So the chair actually reclines as well. And I need to zoom back out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's the handle here. And if you pull the handle up, the chair, the back of it reclines. And so that's a nice feature. Of course, it also has down at the very bottom underneath the chair, you have your handle that will allow you to go up and down. So if you want the chair higher or lower, there's a handle that's right down there. You can kind of see it sticking out right here. You do have to actually stand up and then lift the handle to make the chair go up. But if you want it to go down, you can stay sitting in the chair. Also, another thing that the chair will do, and I can show you this, is if you don't like the armrests where they're at, you can actually pull on this and lift the arms up. They lift up or they can go down, up or down. So that's a nice feature. It does it on both sides, of course. The other side will do it as well. So if you want them way up, you can have them way up. So that's pretty cool as well. It's a very nice chair. I really like it a lot. I think you guys will too. So be sure to check it out. Pretty cool chair. One thing I wanted to show you guys is the USB plug-in has this box that of course it hangs there, then your USB cord plugs into it. And the USB cord, by the way, is 6 feet long. If you're curious how long this cord is, it is 6 feet long. But the box hangs there. But there's something the manual doesn't tell you about, and that is if you look underneath the chair, I will show you what is underneath the chair. There is a little pouch right there, and you'll take the box and you'll slide the box in under this pouch. This pouch will actually, if you see it's elastic, it pulls down. So you'll slide that box so that it goes inside that pouch. And then you'll plug your USB cord in the front of it. And of course your USB will run out of the front of your chair because you'll probably be plugging it into your computer. So I just wanted to show you that little tip there, that's why that elastic is underneath the chair on the right side. It's to hold that box. Okay? And there's what it looks like installed, guys. Through there, and I have it going above the armrest, then coming out of the front of the chair.